Okay, thank you. I'm going to reinstate standing orders now, and we'll get back to the meeting. So now councillors, thank you for having a look round. You've seen there's 4 different proposals. Let's open the floor up. Let's have some input, please.
I think the only thing that with the option 1, and great idea, great for the community. Actually, have we got anyone who's interested in it? Is there any interest? Is there really, will we actually be able to sell this space? I know there's the library talk because we have got some money set aside for that. But I think that's, would it end up being that it sits there empty a lot of the time? Is there anyone going to want to really use it, etc.?
I can confirm we already have someone booked in to use it. They've been currently using the back half of the chambers because that's all I had to offer them. But after half term, they're booked in 3 days a week. That's West Sussex County Council's adult learning. They're offering a lot of children workshop sessions, sessions for SEN, under 5s, Key Stage 1 workshops for children as well, and they want to expand their offering. So that they are open to working with us to provide more facilities. We have also had Horsham Amateur Dramatics come and look at that space. As you're probably aware that they've been asked to vacate their premises. They are struggling to find a suitable solution, but they think that place is ideal, admittedly as an interim measure because they need storage and we can't offer that. But they would be interested in using that space for rehearsals as well. The community officer is also in discussions with some various charity groups that want to offer more facilities for the elderly in Southwater, and meetings will happen to see whether they could utilise that space as well.
And what was the option? The library wanting to use the space as well, wasn't there?
Yeah, so the one thing that the library can't do is offer as many workshops as Horsham does because they don't have the space for it. If they had access to that area on designated days, times, they would be able to offer the additional workshops that they can't do at the moment.
And there is a demand for that, isn't
there? There is. Option 1, if the library does take some of that space and we can get agreement with the libraries, then there is over £90,000 of unspent S106 monies dedicated to Southwater Library floor space that we could use to utilise to make the necessary changes to that area. There is also the potential, there's another 3,700. We've got a little bit of time for that, and a potential further 32,000 for the provision of client service infrastructure at Southwater Library.
Well, Julie, I'd like to thank you for all the work you put into this. I mean, I think a little while ago we were all wondering about what we could do with this space, and it seems that in a very short space of time you've really put some plans together, and we do have some very viable options here. Out of the options that have been outlined, do you have a preferred option?
I do have a preferred option, but it's not my decision to make, so I would like the councillors to propose an option.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, can I ask whether or not the Section 106 have actually been checked for the legal agreements to make sure it can be used by the library for the purposes in general? Because the Section 106 that I read was for additional floor space.
I think the basis on which the proposal forms, once an option's been chosen, or the basis of it and how it could look, and the utility that the library would get, we would need to seek clarity from the planning obligations officer at HDC if it's compliant. Once we've got a scheme together.
Yeah, and ongoing costs as well. That can't come out of Section 106. They'll have to provide the running costs out of the library provision provided by West Sussex County Council. That's a concern to me that they may not, although it may look good on paper at the moment, that it may not come to fruition, because obviously we know the restrictions that are going to go on with West Sussex County Council and the Unitary Authority. We do need some form of guarantees before we make a proposal that this money is available and could be available. Also, some of those Section 106s run out quite soon, don't they?
Would anyone else like to speak? Any more questions?
Chairman, I'm happy to propose option 1, subject to the Section 106 agreement being agreed.
Would it not be better to defer and delegate that to the council officers to make sure that it can be adhered to before we set the proposals down? And if they can't be, then bring it back.
We could delegate it for approval, subject to checking the Section 106 if you prefer. Does that work?
Is this being proposed on the basis that this proposal will not be moved forward and as it's contingent on 106 funding, or would the council like to proceed? So just for clarity, if the Section 106 funding cannot be used to aid the cost of making the adjustments to the room, what is the alternative?
Have to come back to council for reconsideration.
However, the library want to use it, whether we can use that capital or not. If the library want to use it, would they be able to pay the cost for the use of it, or are you just relying on because isn't the S106 for capital works?
Yeah, so the Section 106 is for capital work, so improvements to the room to accommodate the library. But as I understand from the Assistant Executive Officer, there are already users not associated with the library that want use of the room. So I think my only concern, the proposal needs to be worded carefully to ensure that we're not preventing the use of the room.
I'm happy for you to reword it.
We could end up with a combination of 1 and 2, couldn't we? Options 1 and options 2.
I think my other concerns are devolution, and we don't know what's happening with library services within Southwater, whether we're going to have a library provision after devolution. It's so open at the moment that it would be difficult to make a decision.
I think we need to make a decision, Chairman, regardless of that, because we don't know what it's going to take a couple of years before we know. We can't just sit back and leave it empty.
I agree. I think we do need to make a decision, but obviously I think we need to be very careful with the wording of our proposal.
Yes. From Chairman, the view of moving things into unitary is that all the existing contracts and agreements will be continued. They're not going to review each one at the point of changing into unitary authority. So if permission or if agreement can be sought from West Sussex County Council, the probability is that it will continue. For how long? Because there will be get-out clauses in it as well. We can't guess, but we've got to do something. Yeah.
Yes, and I would have thought that if it works, appears to work, it's going to be very difficult for somebody to stop it.
Yes.
We know it's not impossible, but yeah.
I should point out, in terms of funding availability, so the council still holds, after the improvements that have just been carried out to get the room back up to scratch, there will be circa £8,000 left in our Beeson House internal alterations budget. So whilst it would be excellent to be able to utilise the Section 106, there is still funding available for any alterations that are required.
Thank you for that. So, Councillor Vickers, would you like to propose?
We go for option 1 and investigate the section 106 as part of the ongoing process for this.
Yep.
Thank you.
Can I have a seconder for that, please?
That's to delegate the responsibility
Yeah.
for sorting that out
Yeah.
to the...
Yes.
It's delegated to the executive officer or the assistant executive officer.
Thank you. Can I have a seconder for that? Those in favour? Those against? Any abstentions? One abstention. Motion carried. Yes. Thank you very much for attending, Councillor Vickers. Thank you. Okay, it's getting back to the track with the agenda, getting back to item 7 minutes very quickly. They've actually been already approved and there were no matters arising. So moving to number 8, accounts. Let's start with aged debtors. Just to note, the sales ledger list as of the 30th of September. Anybody have any queries with regards to the aged debtors? No, thank you. Point 2, bank reconciliation. We need to approve the bank reconciliation of the 31st of August and the 30th of September.
I can confirm Councillor Brown, as a non-signatory, has verified the bank reconciliation against statements and petty cash in accordance with the finance regs.
Thank you, Councillor Brown. So can I have a proposer, please? Councillor Moore proposes. Seconder, please. Councillor Knott. Those in favour? All in favour. Item 3, moving on to the balance sheet and earmark reserves of the 31st of August and the 30th of September to approve those figures. Can I have a proposer, please?
Yes, I propose that.
Councillor Moore again, seconded by Councillor Knott. All those in favour? Thank you. Item 4 under item 8, a detailed income and expenditure of the 31st of August and 30th of September to approve what's been outlined in that pack. Do I have a proposer? Councillor Knott. Seconder, please. Councillor Watkins. Those in favour?
Unanimous.
Unanimous. Moving on to item 9. There's a detailed payment schedule in your pack, and we need to approve this schedule as of the 15th of October for the total amount of £77,884.19. Can I have a proposer, please? Councillor Knott, seconder. Councillor Moore. Those in favour? All in favour? Unanimous. Thank you. We now move on to item 10, which is budget review, and I'll hand over to Justin.
In the interests of time, a full copy of the report is in the pack and also in the public pack. So if happy to take contents as noted, unless there's any questions, of course.
Any questions? Thank you. Item 11, bank accounts. Obviously, there's detailed in our pack on page 35. Any questions on the bank accounts? No? Thank you. Item number 12, investments and savings in accordance with our investment policy. And basically, it's our Flagstone platform report on page 36. Anybody have any questions on the Flagstone report?
Just to update, so to take contents of report as noted, but since the report was circulated, in accordance with the Council's investment policy, 3 new accounts have been opened on the Flagstone platform. Standard Chartered Bank on a 9-month fixed term of £75,000 at AER of 3.94%. Nationwide 12 months fixed term, £100,000 at AER of 3.77%. And then an instant access account with Oak North, £85,000, 3.65%. Further updates will be in future reports.
Thank you. Moving on to item 13, additional earmark reserve provisions for budget 25-26. To receive a briefing note and consider approving recommendations from the Executive Officer to increase earmark provision for training and development and consultancy budgets. Justin.
So you've all received a copy of the report. I think since circulating this, I'm not sure if the provision in consultancy is sufficient, but I think for now, depending on activities at the planning committee, I'll report back accordingly. But I do believe that we will expect to see many more speculative development applications over the next several months between now and the end of the financial year. Whilst I think the provision will be sufficient for now, there's a chance that this will have another item on a future committee meeting to add more. And when we come to setting the budget for the next financial year, I think we need to be mindful of what we provide in the budget. So I think for now, keep the report as circulated, and the two recommendations are to add 1,500 to the training and development earmark reserve for use in this current financial year, and then also to add £2,000 to the consultancy budget as well. There's a draft resolution in the report for ease as well.
Thank you, Justin. Anybody have any questions or? Yeah. Those in favour? Unanimous. Thank you. We now move on to item number 14. It's quite a detailed operational report. A lot of it is regarding repairs to play areas, etc. There's some good pictures in the pack. Anybody have any questions regarding the operational report? Do you have any comments to make, Justin? No?
Just I think if there are no questions, then I think we take the contents as noted.
Thank you. Moving on to item number 15, grant applications. We have 3 applications, one from the supporters of Castlewood School, one from Foresight Vision, and one from Jubilee HQ for Scouts and Guides. There's a lot of detail in the pack with regards to each one of these. One of them we have, I think, before funded in 2023. The pack from the Foresight Vision is huge amount of detail in there, which takes up nearly 40 pages of the pack. Let's start with the supporters of Castlewood School. Does anyone have any questions or queries that they've read through that anyone?
Sorry, first of all, can we know how much is left in the budget and how?
There is £2,950 available of funding for community grants in accordance with our grant policy.
And they are seeking quite a bit of funding from, and they already have some from others. So, do we feel that we should be considering this positively?
To be honest, we know the school, we know what good work they do. I mean, looking at our budget, we don't have a lot left. I would like to maybe say we offer them half of the amount.
I think we do know that money will be spent for the benefit of the inhabitants of Southwater, won't we? And
Absolutely.
Should we look at the other names as well while we're going, and then perhaps come to a conclusion? Because Foresight Vision we see regularly in this, and it's very difficult. There's an awful lot to read, and it's very difficult to see how much actually comes into Southwater. I'm sure something does, but it's a little bit more reluctant.
Mr. Chairman, Councillor.
Councillor Knott.
The only thing I was going to say was, I think, if I'm right, in the past, when we've had proposals where there's a lot more money is needed in order for the project to go ahead, I believe we've actually said we would grant it on the provision that they were able to get all the rest of the funding. So maybe that's something we could do for Castlewood, just because it's quite a large project and they say that they haven't got all the funding at the minute. That was just a suggestion.
So, Councillor Brown, you're proposing £500 for the first one, which is Castlewood School.
Mr. Chairman, I still have to declare an interest on all these ones because I do actually deal with some of the charities. So.
Any other comments? I'm glad you
We
said that.
really should be doing more for the Scouts
Yes, and
in terms of providing.
replacing that fire door. I mean,
accommodation.
it's shocking, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's been allowed to get like that.
Mr. Chairman, if I may, Councillor Watkins, as you have declared interests in this item and which
All of them I actually
All
do,
three.
So, yeah, so
And-
I'll stay out of any conversations.
as no dispensation has been requested, I think in view of the code of conduct, I would request you think about leaving the room.
Is it the last item?
No, we've got
Many policy.
some policies to consider. Thank you.
Councillor Cole, you have some.
I was just thinking that the Scouts, I think we frequently get requests for the Scouts, but they're fairly modest usually, and I think we ought to be trying to do more for them on a wider scale, larger scale, by way of getting buildings and so on.
Do we have anything in any other budget that, you know, like SIL money, for example, could we use for the Scouts? Because this is, I mean, just looking at the state of that door is awful. And if it means that we can get a young person be able to get access into there with their wheelchair, I think if there's anything we can do, I'd like to see us pay for the whole of that. But could we? Could SIL be allocated just?
For replacement of doors and maintenance, still can't be used. Typically, Section 106 cannot be used unless it specifically states for maintenance, but typically it will say something like improvements, which you could loosely use. But in this case, there is no Section 106 relevant, and SIL would be hard push. I don't think it meets the criteria. The Adventure Fitness trim trail could potentially meet that criteria in the Castlewood, but then I'd have to look into the technicalities of using SIL. I think the parish council would need to be the one undertaking the work, so we couldn't give a grant. We couldn't just hand the SIL to them, unfortunately.
Yes, it's not a grant money. It's money there to do a project, to complete a project.
Yeah.
But I do think there is potential there if the school and the Scouts realise the parameters of what the SIL money can be used. Possibly, if when they're undertaking that sort of work or considering those things, they may be able to sort of fit in or ask us to take over that work for it to go.
Again, I'm not promising that we can do this.
No.
I'd have to actually check because I think there's some complexities when I've looked into this previously with the village hall and how parish council can step in.
But
I think to use SIL would be hard push, would be very difficult. I think what I will do is just point attention to our grant policy. So whilst the grant budget this year, what's remaining is £1,000, and we have another circa £2,000 in our earmark reserve, which gives you a total of 3,000. You do have the ability to make recommendations for full council to approve grants in excess of that. If you see a worthy cause, then it's something that this committee can put a recommendation to full council for. But I'm not suggesting that is what we're doing here, just pointing out
We've got to
what's in our policy.
We've got to be satisfied that it fits within the policy, and the policy is there to design to help the people of Southwater.
Yes, okay. Councillor Brown, you proposed £500 for our first candidate, Castlewood School. And I think we're all sympathetic towards, obviously, the Scouts as well. That total amount they're asking is £1,500.
So can we take that to full council to ask for that if we need to, or can we just spend all the money?
There's no reason why this committee can't spend all the money that's allocated.
It's within
Councillor
the
Knott.
committee's,
Yeah,
it's
yeah, I
within
know.
the committee's authority.
And this is our last grant applications for this financial year, isn't it?
Yes, correct. And I should add that the balance we have in earmark reserves relates to years where we didn't allocate
spend.
because we didn't get any applications.
Yeah,
And we've held it now for a good couple of years.
so it might be a good
Okay.
idea.
I think it needs.
So I'm going to propose that we give 1,500 to the Scouts and 500 to Castlewood.
So there's an amendment.
Amendment
Technically
to,
an amendment to the proposal.
Councillor
Yeah.
Brown's proposal, but
yes.
Or if Councillor Brown wants to add the 1,500 to the Scouts on top.
Well, I was only doing the first one. I thought we were doing one at a time, you
Yes,
see.
yes.
So
Well, yeah.
there doesn't seem to be any support for the eyesight
To
charity.
be,
I'm not there's no
Sorry,
support. I just feel
What-
that we've given money to them in the past.
Mr. Chairman, point of order. Can, for simplicity of the minutes, can we actually do each item separately?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Apologies.
So,
Yeah, yeah.
okay, so we're proposing £500 for the supporters of Castlewood School. That's by Councillor Brown. Can I have a second,
second.
please?
Second that.
Councillor Moore.
All in
All those in
All
favour?
in favour, yeah.
All in favour. 15B is foresight vision.
When did we last give them some money?
So just to confirm, all applicants are in compliance with our policy.
Oh,
So
in terms
you
of-
can apply every year.
Missing years, yes, or whatever.
Would I be right thinking that there isn't any support for foresight vision on this occasion for a grant?
Possibly a little unfair, but
I should point out that they attended the annual parish meeting where they gave a speech on
Oh, they did.
on how helpful the grant was previously. And in the pack, there is a thank you letter from them, and the grant does directly support Southwater residents with
Does it?
impaired
Yeah.
sight.
how much are they looking for?
£510.
However, they do have a very healthy balance sheet. And these are for specific projects that.
Then we could defer to next year.
On the other
It
hand,
has to be, it's an application for this current financial year. So
yeah. On the other hand, we've got this,
if I,
should we be,
I've got the,
God, they get some, oh, Basil Shipham. Yeah. Shipham's paste.
So the last grant given by the parish council was in 2023, and it was a grant of £350. Nothing was given in our last financial year, 24-25.
So that fits, doesn't it? And what are they asking for, did we say?
£510, which would benefit about 6 of the 48 clients they currently support in Southwater for 12 months.
Have some support?
Well,
How about we support half of it? No, half of this one.
Yeah, I don't see any particular reason why we shouldn't spend most of it anyway.
They meet the grant criteria. So I think on that basis, if we go, as you say, half or £250 as a round amount.
Is that a proposal?
Yes.
Yes. So I propose that we make a payment of, we provide a grant of £250 for.
Thank you, Councillor Moore. Can I have someone to second that,
Foresight.
please? Councillor Knott? Thank you. Those in favour? Carried. Thank you,
Have
unanimous.
we voted for all three of now?
So
Oh, Scouts.
there was a proposal from Councillor Knott on
Yes.
item 3 of item
The Scouts? Yes? Your proposal is for the full 1,500? Yes? Seconder,
I'll
Councillor Moore?
second that.
Those in favour?
Yeah.
Unanimous. Thank you.
It doesn't leave much in the pot, but why leave money in the pot?
Anyway, before the next budget, isn't it?
Yeah, why? Why not?
And Justin said quite a lot of that. The earmark reserves are stuff we've carried over from previous years, so
Yeah, oh yes, it's always part of the.
it's quite nice to actually spend it all rather than having it sitting there and
In fact,
it's going to good places.
Even worse than that, in a way, the £1,000 limit, original allowance in the budget, was lower than it normally is, merely because we had some in the pot. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Item 18.
We've done item 16 and item 17. So we're now going to move on to item 18, which is around cyber security. There's details of this in your pack between page 136 and 144. It's quite a comprehensive report. Justin, is it yourself or Julie's going to go?
Yeah, myself. I think you've all received a copy of the report. I think in summary, we are now accredited with Cyber Essentials certification. In short, Councillor Watkins queried with me whether we had cyber security cover. When I contacted Zurich, they confirmed that we do not, and Zurich no longer provide it as an add-on or part of our policy. They are currently working with some partner companies, but nothing's in situ at the moment. So I contacted Octatech for their guidance, and I did some research. And Cyber Essentials accreditation is a government-backed scheme, and it provides us £25,000 of indemnity against cyber attacks. So yeah, everything's in the report. It's really just for noting, so that we now have cover, and this will be an annual cost in terms of the accreditation fee to provide cover.
Thank you. Any questions on that item? Thank you. Moving on to item number 19. We have an IT policy which needs to be approved. I hope councillors have had time to read this. Any questions?
What I will add is this policy is loosely based off, it's based off the NAUC IT policy and the policy being circulated by the Joint Panel on Accountability of Governance Panel in the Practitioner's Guide. And then it's been tailored to how we do things at this parish council. So, and it is now required. So in this current financial year, all parish and town councils will be tested for something called assertion 10 in the AGAR, in the Annual Governance Accountability Return, which requires us to have .gov.uk emails, only use .gov.uk emails, which this council has been doing for a long time, amongst other things. So all of that is covered in the IT policy, amongst other things, and then some of the other items on this agenda cover the other bits we need to comply with this new assertion 10 that's been rolled out across the country.
So thank you. We need to vote on this if we're happy with the policy. I'm sure you've all read it in detail. Bit of bedtime reading. Could I have a proposer, please? Councillor Knott's proposer, seconded Councillor Moore. All those in favour?
Yeah.
Unanimous.
Unanimous. Thank you. Moving on to item 20, similar, this is a new data protection policy that's been changed. And now I think the items are marked in red in the pack.
Yes. The track
Again,
changes.
hopefully you've all read this. Any questions on it before we vote?
That's all
No? Thank you.
pretty straightforward.
Can I have then a proposer to approve this?
Councillor Commit.
Yeah.
Councillor
Raised
Cole.
by Councillor Cole, seconded
second
by
it, yes.
Councillor Moore. Those in favour? Unanimous. Thank you. Next item, number 21, is a data and information register to receive and consider approving. Did you want to say
So
that?
just to introduce it, this is another requirement for session 10. So we have to document and do a data and information register on all the data that we hold as council, the purpose of processing, the data subjects, data collected, the lawful basis on which we hold it, location, storage, retention period, who has access and the security around it, who's responsible officer, and then in the register you'll see in the pack there's also some notes in there as well. This is the first document of its kind for this council, so far as I understand. Whilst we do have a document retentions policy, this being the first item, I think wanted it approved by the committee, and then going forward, it will be reviewed annually, which I'll try and incorporate into one report, which will be presented to council, so that when it gets to year end, the council can tick the assertion box that it's covered all of the assertions in the JPEG, which is inclusive of having an IT policy, gov.uk emails, data information register, data protection policy, and all the other bits. Yeah. To be honest, I haven't looked what other councils are doing yet. So,
Thank you, Justin. Can I have a proposer to approve this document, please? Councillor Knott, seconded by Councillor Moore. Those in favour? Unanimous. We also, in the pack now, item 22, have an accessibility statement, which is for noting. Again, I'm sure you read this. Does anybody have any questions with regards to this statement?
so just to add, this has already been previously approved by the council. Again, this forms part of assertion 10. Just wanted it noted at F&GP meeting. We re-reviewed the accessibility of our website, and this accessibility statement basically provides details on accessibility of our website. So we've run the tests, or my colleague has run the tests using the Wave tool. So that's all documented in this statement. So I think, yeah, it's really for noting and yeah.
Thank you. Item number 23. Yes, it's that time again. Festive Christmas lights for Lintott Square. Basically, we have two failed motifs, and the options are to repair them, to dispose of the two, or to replace them. And obviously, there's a cost in the pack of how much this will cost. Now, it's not far away. So does anyone have any questions?
I do.
Councillor Knott.
Did we not discuss, or did we discuss something different about Christmas lights? Because I'm sure we've discussed something and we voted for something on Christmas lights. I'm assuming it wasn't because it was
We've
something
got
else.
lots of Christmas
So
lights.
just housekeeping, first of all. You'll see in the report you've got contractors' names, so we don't have to enter confidential session. Please try and refer to them as contractor A, B, C, D. If anyone needs to speak about the specifics of any of the contractors, which might be positive or negative, then we will need to enter into confidential session. In response to your query, Councillor Knott, we did discuss Christmas or festive lights previously, and that was to replace all of the Christmas lights on the trees in Lintott Square and then also the 3 war memorial trees, but it did not include the motifs which hang off the street lights.
We did replace some of the trees, didn't we?
Yes, yeah, we did.
Because we had to, because the trees are growing.
The existing contractor that's done this work for us before, who would that be?
That would be well, contractor A, but I mean, it's a public record because we published the payments and the contract when it was approved. So that is SparkX or Sparks. I don't know. SparkX, Sparks.
Anybody have any questions? Councillor Brown, I bet one's coming from you.
How old are the ones we are 10 years old? It's really, I mean, you think about energy and everything that's not efficient. And I'm a sucker for Christmas lights, so I'd go contract A and replace them all.
So option 3
Yeah,
with
option
contractor A. I think one. So what was I going to say? The only thing that you may wish to consider, this is somewhat, I wouldn't say rushed, but we've only recently found out that 2 of them aren't working and aren't. And it's whether the committee would like to give more thought to the types of lights and motifs that are put in the square, and do sort of a remedial thing in the interim, or if the designs that are in the report, as per contractor A, if those are acceptable and look good, then by all means, I think option 3 with contractor A makes sense.
Councillor Knott.
So my thoughts were there's a lot of local high streets and stuff are now doing festive lights as opposed to Christmas lights, like celebration lights, sorry, so that they can be requested to go on for certain other religious celebrations, not just Christmas. My view would be to do the repair option and then to look in more detail as to whether we want to actually do a new look of the motives rather than just replace them all now.
Or could we ask the local children to design a motive?
Yes, do it as a competition.
Sorry, you've started us on Christmas now. It's your fault.
Justin's pulling faces, but I'm just saying. I think bearing in mind we're in October, my view would be to do a repair now so that we can get them running, and then have more thought, because it feels like something that we might want to discuss a bit more detail. That's my proposal.
Was that your proposal?
My proposal,
Does it? Do you have any sort of guidance as to the longevity of the existing lights? Because if they all can have another 3 or 4 be dead next year, we're probably better off.
I'm not as well informed on this as my colleague, the senior operations officer, who put this report together. But what I am aware of is these motifs are old and quite taxed, and they have had some repairs done to them. So I don't know how long they will.
I think they came via a £10,000 grant, didn't they? About
I don't know.
8-9 years ago.
Yeah,
From I think Tesco's.
I know they were purchased from Blachère Illuminations.
Yeah.
I'm not proposing that we keep these ones forever, that we actually just repair them with a view to replacing them next year, once we've had more thought into a design. That was my proposal.
If that's your proposal,
That's my proposal.
Well, Councillor Brown actually kind of gave it a proposal. Did you want to formalise that? What you would that you wanted the whole.
it's only that method allows us to give more thought as to what we finally want to end up with.
Yeah, I'd like the Southwood children to get involved then, if we're going to do so. If we're going to do that, if we're going to go for new lights, maybe next year, can we have the children involved?
We could give them some guidance, Justin, so they don't just create something really random.
I think I would just add some caution here and some pragmacy, because any custom design lighting motifs will be quite expensive. So.
Well, let them choose out. If we choose some designs that they can choose.
Yeah.
Yes.
Being Scrooge.
That's his job.
And then we could ask them to choose, and then at least, and then they could all come for a big party when we turn them on.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll focus on a proposal for what's actually in the pack, which is what do we do with that? And what you're suggesting, your proposal is to repair.
My proposal is to repair
And,
with a view to replacing them all before next Christmas.
and is this with
I
A?
don't
Well,
know,
for
I haven't
for
decided.
council
So
to
basically, to repair with the current, to repair with the current contractor A,
Right.
with a view to looking at getting quotes in and replacing for next year once we've had more consideration and thought on it. Long proposal, sorry.
Yeah.
So, okay, yeah.
So can I have a seconder for that, please?
I'll second.
Councillor Moore. All in favour? Carried. Okay, last item number 24. Date of our next meeting, the week before Christmas, 17th of December.
Oh,
Yes, that's...
Christmas hat for you dressing up as Santa?
No. So, thank you very much. Meeting closed at 8:48. Thank you.
Behind me, a whole set of battlements, right? 18 metres up, 20 yards up in the air. That is probably the first time a longbow has been shot from up here since that siege in 1450.